Hi guys, and welcome back to Pass and Move. For today's episode, we've got the Macedonia and England game. Now I know it's been a while since our last episode, but a lot has been going on, and of course, as you can tell, it takes a while between international fixtures. So the last thing we did show you was the European League game against Germany. We didn't show you the friendly against Chile, which did end 1-1 with Wilson scoring our goal after Vargas opened the goal for Chile. Now since then there's been a couple of updates and a couple of changes. Of course in the 2019 calendar year there's been a couple of things going on. So the European Championship qualifying stages have begun for the 2020 European Football Championship, and this is our group as it stands. So Macedonia, Czech Republic, Montenegro, Bulgaria and San Marino. Relatively easy group. We should be able to qualify from this quite easily. So far so good. As you can tell, we've played the 3 games. We decided to show you not every single game like last time. We really want to try last couple of episodes, I suppose, since the beginning of this series we've been showing you almost every other episode, every other game or so we really want to try and just show you crucial games and really just skip ahead into the main tournament, and then we can go ahead and show you every game. But the qualifying, not so much, not really important, and so I think we can step ahead with that. So that's exactly what I decided to do, and it went well so far. We beat Montenegro and Bulgaria back-to-back 2-0 results. I mean, it wasn't exactly... I guess it was back-to-back in different months. For a second I thought it was completely different international periods, but it was just a couple of days apart. So we did beat Montenegro with Rashford and Henderson on the score sheet. Rashford's really come of his own finally at the age of 21 for Manchester United. He's finally a first team player, as you can see, starting 26 of the 38 Premier League games available, and finally we can start him up front with Kane regularly, basically. Against Bulgaria though, it was Berahino and Lallana instead who scored towards the end of the game there, and really it was quite a tight result until we managed to do that. What wasn't a tight result was the result against San Marino, 6-0 result. Rashford managing a hat-trick, Sterling, Kane and Stones all on the score sheet as well to have a really complete all-rounded result, as you can tell here from the ratings. For Macedonia, after we've beaten San Marino 6-0, we've got Macedonia, not necessarily a huge team, one we're expected to beat, but considering the way that the table looks right now, beating Macedonia would really sort of solidify our top spot for a while. Even if Czech Republic managed to win their game and come up to 8 points, it would basically still be several points away from them, so we'd be 4 points away. But not just that, we're sending the team just underneath us further down the table, which is exactly what we want to do, and so we can set up a perfect clash against Czech Republic and possibly the next round. If it's not the next round, we might show you the away game instead. Of course, things will be much more intense then. But anyways, let's just get into today's episode. So we'll talk about who or today's match rather, but we'll first talk about who we've called up. So in terms of the national pool, as you saw there, we're still playing with the 4-1-2-1-2. Goalkeepers aren't growing too great. It's a bit too straightforward of a decision. Butler and Hart are battling out for the first team spot basically. Forster was the one to get called up because Pickford is still playing for the Championship Sunderland team, who've actually been relegated. Well, actually they were relegated obviously from the Premier League, but Jordan Pickford finally upset and wants to leave because they were relegated. The season later after they've been relegated, by the way. I was hoping he'd move straight away, but didn't happen. And of course Tom Heaton as well. Decently, playing quite a lot for Burnley, but he is 33 years of age, so I do need to think about a third choice who's not that old and who has featured for us a little bit more. But at the same time, Forster has played better through the season. Anyways, in terms of defenders, let's move on quite quickly. Left backs Luke Shaw and Danny Rose, kind of straightforward decisions. No one else really challenging. Cresswell's still in the Championship with West Ham, and Bertrand, and pretty much just Bertrand really. So it's kind of straightforward there, and I'm happy to not stress too much about it. Luke Shaw is our first choice in the same sense that Klein is our first choice, and Walker's the backup who's battling out the likes of Flanagan, Chambers, who haven't really played for their teams whatsoever, so it's kind of a straightforward decision there too. In terms of the centre backs, John Stones finally a first team player for Manchester City. As you can see, he's 4 stars for England, very important player now, 20 caps to his name at the age of 25, decent so far, and I hope he will continue this career path. He's played 32 games of the 38 that have been played in the Premier League. Kind of a straightforward position. So just to show you who Smalling, Keane and Jones should be looking up to, that's basically Stones, because Smalling's only played 5 games for Manchester United, Keane's only played 11 for Arsenal, and Jones has only played 8 for Manchester United as well. Very poor record so far, and that's why they're not being selected for this England team. Brendan Galloway, unfortunately, he drops out after being called up in previous caps. He's got one single cap to his name, doing decently for his team. But the likes of Cook, Shawcross, and Cahill have done quite well. Cahill really holding on there. I thought his international career would end by now, but really he's featured very regularly for Hull. 34 of the 38 games available, and why not play him when he's in this type of form? In terms of the midfield makeup, defensive midfield and attacking mid, Dele Alli, Dyer, Henderson, straightforward decisions. Lallana, unfortunately, we couldn't call him up because of his injury, which is why Sterling gets the nod despite not really featuring for his team enough, according to our criteria anyways. He's still considered a first teamer, but for some reason, he's, not really playing that much, I suppose. He's made more appearances off the bench than he has started. Ward-Prowse, Drinkwater, Chalobah, also make the call, as well as Jack Cork, to give us some decent backups to this first team midfield. In terms of attack though, still like I told you, Kane and Rashford finally making up their duo. Eventually Rashford will increase to ability of the like of Kane and maybe even further. Berahino and Wilson are the backup choices. The likes of Vardy haven't played as well as these two, and Deeney as well can be said the same thing. Ings and Ibe really not featuring enough for their teams to be selected. So I think we can finally kick off for today's game. It's the second of the international break, so there is no game after this. We'll be showing you just the Macedonia game, hopefully interesting enough, again away from home. Still early in the group stage, but I figured now's a nice little point to a nice little game to show you now that it's, the group's really starting to take shape, and we can really solidify our position as top spot if we beat Macedonia today. Who knows? Czech Republic can also fail in their adventure or in their aim to get their 3 points. So if that happens, we really will pull away from the rest of the group, and that way I can actually skip ahead through different games without having to worry to show you it, and I can actually show you the European Championship instead. From a year's time from now, basically. So they're playing the 4-4-2 as well, a variation of the one we're playing. But yeah, if we dominate that midfield battle, it would be great, and we should relatively win this. Well, we should win this game relatively easy, is what I'm trying to say. So I think I already mentioned it in the previous episode, but I will say it once again. We have tried to switch up tactics into a flat 4-4-2. It can kind of work, but really the players who are featuring the most for their club, who have the most ability, and are playing quite well. Wilson with a long range shot there, almost scored. The ones who are playing well, playing frequently, and not having any issues, it really is still the 4-1-2-1-2. We're not the best of teams in the world, but if we make the best of what we got, we can challenge. As you saw, we've beaten Germany before, twice out of the 3 games that we played. So one of them was a 6-2 win or something along the lines of that. So we can do it. We are capable of surprise, and we're still in the top 10 in the world. So it's really about solidifying our spot, or our legacy rather, with some silverware. Something that England have been chasing in real life as well. So to really make use of this new generation, I suppose, if you want to call them a players, Dyer, Henderson, Drinkwater, all these, well, not really Drinkwater, but Dele Alli and whatnot, all these type of players, these youngsters who are still making a name for themselves. Drinkwater scoring finally. Then yeah, we really need to put our mark on put our stamp on the map, I suppose, by winning a trophy first one since England won the World Cup, I suppose. So yeah, it'd be great to. Don't know why I'm trying to make substitutes, it's way too early. But yeah, that's what we're trying to do. That's essentially what we're trying to do, and hopefully we can kick on with that. Wilson gonna find Berahino through. Can he make it 2? And really, no. I was gonna say, can he really make things nice and comfy for us? But unfortunately not. Macedonia, as you can see, playing a defensive 4-4-2, so it looks like they don't really back themselves to be doing much more. And we'd take this result. If Macedonia want to play hardball and we squeeze by with a 1-0 result, fine by me. All that matters is the 3 points, and that's pretty much it. I'm not too concerned about how amazingly we win. It's almost impossible to consistently play beautiful football and perform always well. So as long as we're getting the 3 points, I'm happy to win ugly. But yeah, we'll press with a chance to make it 2-0, and I think It's a penalty, yeah. My laptop froze for a second there, but either way, penalty. And now we got a very serious clear-cut chance to make it 2-0. And for some reason, Stones is taking the penalty. I haven't set penalty takers, so I think Stones is just the one who wins by default. Can he score though? Yes, he can. And there you go, showing me why he can take penalties and why he should take penalties. But either way, 52 minutes, England 2, Macedonia 0. And it's complete domination in terms of stats. And of course, the only stat that matters, like we always say, is the top left one there. And 2-0 is all we need to know. Macedonia, though, trying to change that up here with the counter-attack. Thankfully, my players have gotten back in time, and now they have to try and build a way through. But can they do that? Can they break us down? Yes, they can. But Hart deals well with a shot. And that was the first clear-cut chance of the game for Macedonia. My players being reminded that this is far from over, and I hope they take that as a warning shot. Anyways, let's look to make some changes. The 60th minute here. Dyer. Oh, I've made some changes before to adjust to other players, but Dyer should be a halfback. Is there anyone else I changed? No, okay, that's fine. Either way, we're taking off Dyer for Cork, Henderson for. Let's bring on Dele Alli, move him across to Drinkwater's position. And there you go. I think that's just the 2 subs we need to make for now. We can make another one in the 70th minute. But for now, just happy to see the game out as is. We should score a third to make things even more comfortable for us. Of course, if Macedonia score as they showed they are, a little bit of a threat, then it would be very uncomfortable of us if it was 2-1. But yeah, I mean, so far so good. If we win this, I'm hoping Czech Republic will check the scores later if they have played or not. But it would be great to see a result that goes in our favour other than this, basically. Czech Republic losing as well would be a great thing. I'm not even sure who they're playing, but either way, for us though, happy with the results so far. If we can see out this game with a clean sheet, that'd be great. And it looks like that's the case. Walker to Wilson to Dele Alli. Ref, just blow the whistle, please. Walker up to Berahino for some strange reason. We are playing possession-based tactics, so a bit weird for us to see him knock it forward like that. But either way, 2-0 is all that matters. Man of the match, Drinkwater. I think that's fair enough. So there you go. Czech Republic only managing to draw against their team, so they've gone up. Actually, wait, they did manage to win. So yeah, they have gone up to, as expected, the 8 points there. And if we do beat them in the next round, it would be a very crucial thing, I suppose. It would really just set us apart, and we would be light years ahead of anyone else, I suppose. But yeah, that should be all for today's episode. For now, we'll have a quick look at when we'll be next. So it should be against Czech Republic as promised in September. It'd be just about the beginning of the season. Crucial season for all my players, of course. The European Championship going to be played next year in 2020, so they really do all need to have great seasons in order to be selected. But yeah, that should be all for today's episode. So if you did enjoy it, then please do hit the like button and subscribe for more daily Football Manager 2017 content. And as always, guys, thank you all for watching.